friends, we are back with the new interview experience of a candidate named Ankush Pandey. He is placed in Disney+hotstar as software engineer. Currently, he is working as intern. He is 2022 batch pass out. His branch is electronics and communication. So here we are seeing from electronics branch he switched to the software company. He is from IIIT Allahabad. So he is describing his journey from schooling to the college and from student life to the professional life, how he entered to the professional life and how his college helped him to place there. Although he gave 2 interviews but he rejected there. He described why he rejected. So after the preparation for this particular company, he is placed with the package is very good. So now you are going to see how he placed in and what is his current package. He described each and everything in very precise manner. So if you are preparing your freshers, then it is a very good opportunity for you to crack the interviews. It is very helpful for you. So let's move with Ankush Pandey. He is describing his journey. So let's start it. I'm Monica from Industries Helping Hands.
Hi Monica, hi.
Okay. So can you describe about you in brief?
Yeah, sure. I'm Ankush Pandey from IIIT Allahabad, and I'm doing my Bachelor's of Technology in Electronics and Communication as my major. And apart from that, I am right now doing an 6-month intern at disney+hotstar. And apart from that, for hobbies or something like that, like I like to read about tech and play football. That's all.
Okay, fine. So, Ankush, let's start from your schooling side, okay? So, you were schooling from, you pass out from which school?
I did my 11th and 12th from the same school, that's Army Public School, Lucknow.
Which school?
Army Public School.
Army Public.
APS. Yeah.
And after your 10th, you selected maths science stream, right?
Yeah.
So, which makes you to feel that yes, this subject is appropriate? How you decided to choose this subject, and what was your optional during your class 11th and 12th?
Basically, after 10th, I was obviously inclined towards maths. And apart from that, I didn't know much about the other scopes which are there. Like for the commerce, to be honest, for the commerce and humanities, I didn't know, what is the scope in them. So pretty much engineering, I chose this because I had to go towards this side only. That's why. And in the 11th and 12th, I had my optional as computer science because that was just because I had some interest. My teacher was good. So he made me inclined towards that. That's why I opted for computer science.
So from 11th and 12th, from your schooling side, you prepared that you want to be in software field, is it?
I wouldn't say in the software field. I would say just something related to that because I knew there is something good about the programming. My teacher used to tell me a lot about that, and he used to motivate us also about this. So basically, at 11th, 12th, I didn't even know what's a software developer or what it is actually. I thought it takes some post-graduation degree to get to this position. But later on, only I realized about this. So it was just because of interest only, and I was good with maths, and for the other things, I didn't know what scope is there. So that's why I landed with this.
Okay, so along with computer science, so what was your percentage in class
12th? My percentage was 91.2%.
Okay. So after that, how you decided for engineering only, there are other fields, and in branch selection and college selection, what was your views? Because some students are there, they are very confused after 12th, what to choose, which branch should we prefer, and which college should we go through. The college should be our preference or branch should be our preference. So what is your point of view in that case?
First of all, if I was to choose between a college and a branch, I would first of all look for it's always a combination of both of them. It's never just you go for one thing totally. So first of all, look for a college. I think a college which has a decent placement, because at the end, that's all what we want. And if it's not if the college doesn't have a decent placement, then obviously a good branch can always cover up for it, because as of right now, there's really a boom in this IT sector. So if you're good with coding, it actually doesn't matter much whether you're from which college or which branch. all that matters is you should be good with what you are doing or what you want to do. And apart from that, yeah, there is a thing like in some openings or in some companies or some interns, it's obviously beneficial if you offer the computer science or the IT related things, because then you will have a better grasp of those things. And obviously, you don't have to study extra from your curriculum. Otherwise, like for me, I was from EC, so I had to study for the EC for my college as well as for this computer coding and computer science for my interns or placement or my interest. So that way, I would say go for a decent college and obviously prioritize your branch for computer science and IT. That always gives an edge in the off campus also.
Because some students are seeking, means they have interest in core sector, but after completing the core sector like in mechanical and electrical, and after that they are switching to the IT field. So it is slightly difficult
Yeah,
to
that
learn the coding. They are doing internship and all like that. Okay, so now
exactly.
as you entered to the college, so your name of your
Yeah,
college was?
triple IT Allahabad.
Okay, so the means selection was based on your which score, which JE score.
Yeah, it was on my G main score.
So after that, you opt for this branch, and how was your first, second sem? Means it was a mixed subject was there. So what you want to tell about that college life and your studies and all?
Yeah,
So let's come back to your college preparation, your academic records, like your percentage and how you prepared for exams, semester exam, assignments. So your college life, describe about that.
Yeah, yeah. For that, like I'll start from the basic itself why I chose Triple IT Allahabad.
Yeah.
The one of the major reason why I chose this was obviously the placement. Apart from that, I knew that in Triple IT Allahabad there was a thing that you didn't have to study the other additional courses which are there. Like in other NITs or any other colleges, there are certain additional courses in the first semester, like electrical designing or something like that. So that's basically everyone is taught the same thing, but in the first or the second semester, they are segregated into their branch, like they get their specializations.
So describe about IIT, triple IIT, yes, Allahabad,
Yeah.
is it? Yes.
Yeah.
So your subjects, regarding the subject you described, is it possible you describe it again?
Yeah, sure. For the subjects, initially we had in the first semester we had a subject about management, and apart from that we had a subject for physics, and there was maths and certain one or two like one subject for the electronics. It was basic electronics like the transistors and MF, JFT, all that was taught. Apart from that, we did had a IT course also, which involved C. So we were basically made to learn C language in the first semester itself.
Okay. So means in
And
one semester there
yeah,
was a subject of C, basic C.
yeah,
And it
yeah,
was common for all the branches.
yeah, it was common for all the branches.
Okay. So how was your academic results, and you are giving priority more to the practical knowledge or theoretical knowledge or assignments, or what is your views about that?
Yeah, it totally depends on the subject. Like in the physics, we did had a lab, so there it was more about practical knowledge rather than the physical knowledge, like theoretical knowledge. Because on the theoretical aspect, the professors whatever they teach is actually not up to the level. Like a student from class 12 can't actually grasp all of that. So if it gets into the practical, it gets easier to understand also, and it starts from a basic thing then, if it's practical.
That's important, yes.
And for the other subjects like management and all, obviously there was some theory also involved, and electronics also there was majorly a theory, because we can't give, like as per the faculty said, that they can't give those important instruments to the first year student itself, because they may damage it in the lab.
They're not that much mature, means after the schooling
Exactly.
directly entering to the college life. So yes,
Yeah,
you're right.
exactly.
Yes, it is.
And apart from that, in the C, it was like in the IT sector, it was more of a mix of both of them, because we used to have labs also where we were given assignments, and there was theory class also. So we used to do like study the concepts and then apply them in the lab.
So your branch was IT or CS?
My branch was electronics and communication.
Actually,
This
okay,
IT
okay,
subject was common for all of them.
okay. Yeah, first was common, yes. So,
Uh,
what was your project?
like project as in, like initially on the first semester we don't get a
Oh,
project.
yeah,
It's
after.
obviously up to the student. If they want to do a project, they can definitely do a project, but initially I didn't have that much knowledge to do a project in any of the language, like neither in the electronics nor in the IT. So in the first year, first year itself, like from the first and the second semester, I spend it much on learning and exploring things only,
Okay.
rather than focusing on a project.
Okay. So after that, your minor and major training, describe about that. So which course you opt and how you did your training?
Yeah, for the training and the minor, actually in the triple IT, this concept actually doesn't exist, because in most of the triple ITs, there are very few branches. So they don't go for a minor or a major. It's just your branch. And apart from that, you are given an option that whether you want to add, like opt for some add-on courses. So these add-on courses could be anything. It could be a physical, like you could opt for swimming as well, for yoga as well. And apart from that, there are certain IT things also, like you could offer certain management subjects which were there. So in those, it was obviously up to the student, whatever they want to choose. They were given certain options, they can choose among them. So in that, it was nice, because we used to have classes only on the weekends, and it was a 2 hour class. So basically, just teacher just gave us the gist of the everything. Like this is where you have, he or she used to give us the source of the knowledge where we have to study it from, and that's it. There wasn't much teaching involved in that.
Okay, means there's any paper also or only theoretical classes is there?
Uh, there paper were there, but certain faculty used to take just a viva only,
Okay.
and certain used to take a written test for that. It was totally dependent on the faculty which you are under.
Okay. And so after this was your life of college, and let's come to the project. In your, I think your
Yeah,
seventh sem project is it was right?
yeah. It was seventh and the sixth sem. We had a
Yes.
minor and a mini.
Major, yes. This,
Yeah,
what was your topic in that project?
yeah. On the sixth, I actually continued my project from the sixth to the seventh semester. It was basically related to data analysis, and the topic of my project was finding the probability of water ice particles on the lunar surface.
What's
So
a particle?
yeah, water ice particles, whatever they're like, it's more or less about finding out the probability of finding water or ice on a lunar surface in certain regions.
Okay.
So
So,
it's basically an EC project only.
okay,
So
yes.
we were just had to analyze that data.
Okay. So, which technology you used, like MATLAB, LabVIEW, and something like that?
Yeah. For this, we used to, there was an indigenous project, which were like indigenous software, which is there on the site of ISRO. So you can always use that. And apart from that, like for our easiness, we used to go for MATLAB or Python. Like
MATLAB
it
and
was a
Python.
group project. So one of my team member was good with Python also. So we used to offer like change between them whenever we are comfortable with the Python or with the MATLAB.
So, you used both the language, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you continue the same project in major as well?
Yeah, like in the major, there is an option. We did whatever was to be done, like, but it's always that a research project is never end. You can always proceed on with it. But in the eighth semester, since I'm doing an internship at Disney Plus Hotstar, so we have an option of presenting this internship, whatever work we do here, as a project itself. So I'll be focusing on that only itself.
Okay, means you after college you got opportunity for placing in Disney Hotstar through college, or it was for from on off campus?
You can say it was from college, because yeah, it's from college only.
Okay. So means how many students from your college place in that?
When the Disney Hotstar came into our college, there were 3 or 4 students which got placed into this.
Okay, and
I
you
don't
were
remember
among
the
them.
exact. Uh, yeah, like, we can say that.
Okay, fine. So what was your package?
For this, we haven't been given a like the final compensation, but for the internship, we have been given this stipend which we will be provided with. So it's 1 lakh per month.
Okay, 1 lakh per month. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And after that, and how your college helped you to place in this particular company? Means what was the role
Uh,
of your college in this?
Yeah, it's basically the placement team which is there. They used to call all the companies, and like it was their job to get the companies into the college based on like whatever they have to do, whether they want to show the previous records of our college for the placement or the capabilities of the student, like whatever students have achieved in our college. So if the company comes, then after that, it's just up to the student. They open a file, open a portal, students have to apply over there. and then they give a coding test. Whoever is shortlisted for the coding test, then it gets it for the interview. Then you have the interview, and finally the results.
So is there any training and placement, like the cell is providing the soft skill classes also in the college?
Yeah, there are certain seminars also which are conducted, but there isn't any like hard written course, but there are certain seminars which are there, and it's more about what students learn from the seniors. That is actually what makes the culture over good over here.
What to say? That means you are much friendly with the seniors and they are guiding you in better manner
Yeah,
rather than
exactly.
teacher and all, right? Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. And how was your, now let's start, how you place in this company? What was the rounds? How many rounds was there? What was question asked? So describe about this journey from your college to this company.
Yeah, sure. In the coding round, there were 2 or 3 questions, I guess, and they were, I don't remember those questions exactly, but I do remember that they were not that tough. They were on the, like, if I were to rate them, I would rate them medium to hard, and easy. That's all.
Okay.
There wasn't any difficult, like a very difficult question. They were just on the medium level or a bit slightly on the harder. That's all. And I don't remember those questions, but for the interviews, yeah, I do remember those questions because they were good questions. First of all, it's a, like, the interview starts with a very easy question so that you get comfortable
So
with the
first
interview.
round was written, I think, is
Coding.
it? First round was
First round was
written?
the coding round.
Or means coding section was first round, is it?
Yeah,
Okay. So how many questions was there approximately?
there were 3 questions. That's it.
Okay.
3 questions, and a duration of 1.5 hours was given to us, and you have to do all those 3 questions.
So it was MCQ based, or you have to write in subjective manner, you have to write the coding of that particular program?
Yeah, we were supposed to write the code for that. We were given a problem statement, and then we were supposed to write the problem code, like answer code for that.
Okay. So that was your first round. So after that, which round was there? Second round?
After that, we had the interviews, like all the students which got shortlisted for that had the interviews.
Okay.
So, like, my interview did happen differently, not like the regular ones. So there was a 2 questions in my interview. First question was a very easy question. Like, there was an array of, we can say it's a string of word. So you have to find out which character is repeating after a particular interval. Like, we have A, B, C. So you have to tell whether A is repeating after the interval of 2 or after the interval of 3. What is the first occurrence of its repeatance?
Okay.
So it was fairly easy question only. Like, we can find it on the lead code. I had done similar questions before also. So it was a fairly easy question.
Okay. And so after that, the round of interview was there. Only interview, that is HR round, is it?
After this, yeah, there was 2 rounds of interview actually for the technical questions itself.
Okay.
Then apart from that, the third round would be the HR round.
Okay, means 3 interview rounds. Okay.
Yeah, 3 interview rounds.
So how was your experience in HR interview?
HR, that's basically, they just ask you about your projects. You should be thorough with your projects, like what you did, what was your goal during the final, like, whole designing of the project. And apart from that, it's basically simple questions like, what do you want, why do you want to join the company, and what are your strengths, weakness, like that.
Okay, fine. So you gave, and how many interview before placing this company particular? Have you faced any other interview or any other written exam in which you failed and then you got opportunity from this company? So you faced any other interview before?
Yeah, I have given 1 or 2 interviews before itself, before this also. For that, like, we are not supposed to reveal the names as explicitly in the college, but I can do tell you, like, what was the procedure in the interviews. The questions were easy, but what I feel like in the first company, I was lacking the like theoretical background of that aspect. I could explain him the code and tell him, like, what's my code is doing. But if it was asked, like, I was asked, how do you apply this in a problem statement, which is in the real life? So I was given a real life situation and I was asked for a solution of it. So I did a hard code for that, but the interviewer wasn't expecting that. He said he wanted a more general solution, which wasn't a hard coded.
Okay, means he wants a theoretical answer and you gave the
Yeah.
practical application, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
In
Yeah,
the first
something like
interview, you
that.
rejected due to this. And in
Yeah.
second interview, what was the reason you rejected?
In the second interview, I couldn't do the coding question itself. The question which was given to me, I wasn't able to do that. So I had, like, the interviewer even gave me some hints also regarding the same. So like after so many hints, I was finally able to do that. So that's why, like, it was pretty much the interview only. He was doing the question. I was just going through his steps only, whatever he was telling me.
Okay, fine. And how you prepared for this interview section or writing section? You joined any courses or you prepared from self, or which course you opt, and how your college helped you to means apply for
Yeah.
this?
Yeah. For the courses, like, we don't go for any courses as such.
Okay.
We have our seniors who always tell us, like, if you have a company, first of all, basic thing is you should be good at coding. That is pretty much the first round of every company. So for that, seniors used to give us like certain sources, whether it's GFG, Lead Code, or InterviewBit. There were three websites which were supposed, like, we were supposed to do questions almost on the interview bit. You are supposed to almost do all the questions which are there. There are fairly around 350 to 500 questions there. So you have to at least be thorough with one of the platforms so that you have the overall understanding of the concepts which are there, not the
Which
competitive coding
website
one.
you opt for the students, those who are preparing for interviews and for campus placements?
I would suggest either the Lead Code or InterviewBit.
Okay,
InterviewBit, yeah,
interview
actually,
with.
bit, yeah, InterviewBit. Actually, for the Lead Code, I would say, because there are daily contests on the Lead Code, so you can have a fair situation, like fair analysis of yourself. You are under a pressure also. You have time constraint of 3 hours, and you have certain questions which you have to solve, and there are hard questions also in that. So you can actually kind of replicate that same scenario which is there in the coding round. So that's how Lead Code helps. And in the interview bit, you have the questions, collection of the questions which are there from all the companies in the past years. So that helps.
Okay, so you purchase do you subscribe that particular website from your courses, or you just took the free
Uh,
courses?
for the Lead Code, there is a premium plan, but I didn't opt for it.
Okay.
On the interview bit, it's totally free. You can always sign in and just start doing the questions.
Okay.
So I didn't offer any course or any subscription. It was all free only.
Okay, fine. So after that, you face the interview round. After the interview, you join. How many gap you got in between the joining and after the interview and joining? How many months gap was there?
For that, basically our placement season starts somewhere around August to September, somewhere there. And some companies come there and some students. So I was, I think, placed somewhere in the September, and my internship was starting from Jan itself. So there was a gap of 3-4 months, I guess.
Okay. And after that you tried for other company also, or you confirmed that you want to go for this company only?
For that, we, like, since most of the time it's like for the on-campus placements, there are constraints also on the students that if you are placed for a certain company, you cannot go for the other companies. But for the off-campus, you can obviously go for off-campus whatever you want. You just have to inform the people over there in the college that you have applied for somewhere else also. I didn't apply anywhere else apart from this.
You haven't applied?
No.
Okay, fine. So you are currently working as software intern. Is it software engineer intern? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So location, in which location you are placed?
It's remote only for the intern.
Okay.
We haven't been asked to come to the office.
Okay. So after the COVID, after the pandemic, they will ask you to come to the office, is it?
Yeah, there's a high probability for that. Like, we don't have any guidelines for that, but it might happen. We hope that happens.
Then location will be, it is not yet decided, or it will decide afterwards?
Like, we have been told that most probably we will be called to the Mumbai itself. They have an office at Mumbai, so most probably there only.
Okay, so what some students, they are, as you said that you are from electronics background and you switch to the software field. So some students are there, they are particularly from core field, like from electrical and mechanical. And after completing the graduation, they are switching to the software field. So what you want to opt for them?
For them, like, First of all, there's always a constraint, like they have some limitations as some companies don't allow for other branches to apply there. So first of all, their first challenge is to sort out those companies which allow for all the branches. Which don't like differentiate on the basis of branch. And apart from that, the major thing is you should be thorough with the coding. Obviously, those two platforms, interview bit and the lead code, those will do you good. And apart from that, like if you want to be a good programmer, so you can always go to competitive sites such as Code Forces, where they have daily contests. So you can obviously go there also. Apart from that, one thing which I would like to say is your understanding of the subjects, like the computer science, there is OS, operating systems, and DBMS is there, and your projects. You should be thorough with them also, because though after you clear the coding round, it's always on the projects also. You are always asked a bit about the projects in every interview.
Okay, so it means project plays a vital role. And
Yeah.
if you prepare online for some courses, it will be beneficial for them. Okay, fine. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sure.
So I think any other thing you want to share to the students, those who are preparing?
Nothing, just be confident. That's very important in an interview. And the more questions you do, the better, more confident you get. And all the best. That's all.
Okay. So I think we are done with this interview experience. And thank you, Ankush. Thank you for your valuable time.
Most welcome.
Okay, thank you.